So welcome back to the Anthem this morning Sports Complex, and we are here to present to you the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel, and it's very nice going up against Molynes United here in the community of Arnott Gardens. The first game of a doubleheader. A little bit later on we'll see Harbourview in action, and they will be going up against Humberline. But for now, it's these two teams which will be roaring, and they are making their way out to the middle in short order, and they look to just try to evade the other and try to make a move up the standings. It won't be a massive move, but it would see them move them even further away from the relegation zone. Molynes United in their typical full yellow kit, and Vere United in white and blue. Chris Taylor has joined me in the commentary box. Chris, your initial thoughts on this matchup? What are you anticipating here?
I think it'll be a very defensive one. Both teams struggling in the last few rounds. 3 matches at least without a victory. And yeah, Vere United, when you look at both these teams, just 22 goals scored in 34 matches between them. So they're certainly not high flying in terms of goals. Molynes have scored 17 out of those 22. Vere just 5 goals in 17 matches. It's been such a struggle. And even when with the prolific Nicholas Nelson back in the lineup for Molynes, who last season amassed 11 goals. This year he's played, some 7 matches already and hasn't been able to score fresh from his stint in Central America.
Andrew Hayden is the man in charge of this matchup. Keone Denton, Darren Lewis, and Alexi Perry, the 4th official. But yeah, not used to seeing Vere United in a white and blue kit.
They're trying all kind of things.
Yeah, to turn the tide, if you will. There is no Roger Williams between the sticks. He has a day off. Mark Morgan now will be their custodian. Steve Pinnock, Donovan Clark, Alwyn Strone, and Kim Moy Phillips are back 4 in the middle of the pack. Javier Brown, Fakibi Farkas, and Shaquille Notice. And up top, Dustin Cohen on the left, Sean Campbell on the right, for Mario Bryan down the middle. And it's going to be hard pressed for them to find a goal. There isn't one goal scorer in that starting lineup.
4-3-3 is what they'll play. And yeah, their team captain Fitzroy Cummins with the national team, so he's out. No Lumpton as well, so it's a really changed back line. Strawn, who usually plays in the right back position, he's brought into centre back, and as I said, many changes. Good that they have Javier Brown in front of the back 4. He will hopefully bring some stability. Their number 14 and captain for today. But yeah, it's a struggle up front, and he's gone for youth Linval Dixon.
Peter Harrison is between the sticks still for Molynes United. They have a back 4 for Sean Plummer, Jonoy Cunningham, Damian Thomas, and Janoy Williams in the middle of the park. Javon Brown, usually playing the left back position. He's now playing on the left side of the midfield area beside Taraj Andrews, Shamario Dennis, and Jeremy Nelson. Behind the strikers, Nicholas Nelson and the informed Jason Wright with 6 goals to his name.
They'll be playing with a 4-4-2 today instead of their regular 4-2-3-1. Molynes, they have gone with 2 strikers up front. As you heard, Michael Blygen, the assistant coach, so Jason Wright and Nicholas Nelson. Let's see if the partnership will bear some fruit for Nicholas Nelson, who just can't get onto the scoring sheet. Just one change to their last game, in where Daniel Hardy misses out, and Taraj Andrews, a player which they acquired from Real Mona, the former KC player Taraj Andrews. He comes into the lineup, so yeah.
So Vere United with the kickoff here. And didn't expect a big crowd for this matchup. But let's see if both teams can provide some level of entertainment immediately. There's a stoppage, there's a collision here, then both players will need some attention. Not the start that we expected before the 30-second mark. And hope this is an indication as to the physical, sloppy nature of this encounter. Slowing down the game to a crawl. But maybe it is the indication. You know, Chris, we've had so many conversations in terms of the need for having 14 teams in the Jamaica Premier League if the quality is spread throughout the nation so thick that it requires a league with 14 teams in it. But
persons will say that it brings more opportunity, as we see Linville Dixon. He's had a pretty thin squad to work with, since you mentioned in depth or thickness, and his squad has been pretty thin. He's had to make quite a few changes. His regular team captain Ricardo Campbell moved on to Humble Lion. Wasn't really seen eye to eye with the management, and so he's moved on. Humble Lion is who we'll see later, and both coaches with a lot on their mind. Alex Thomas, their former youth player as well, coached at Arnett Gardens before. And yeah, Molynes have had the same problem, you'd have to say, over the last couple of years, where they do score goals. They've scored 17 so far this season. But their problem is that even when they get into winning positions or get into games where they're very competitive and have an opportunity to win, they give up needless goals at the back. It's really been a struggle. It's actually the opposite to Vere United, who have been so solid at the back generally, but they can't score goals. Molynes score goals, but they can't defend. They just can't keep clean sheets. In fact, when you look at the Molynes record, they haven't kept a clean sheet in 7 games. So that's crazy for them. It's been a struggle. But then, on the other hand, wow, that's a hard challenge there. But yeah, on the other hand, they have scored 5 games in a row. So there is a positive for them on the attacking side of things. And as I said, Jason Wright, a lot to do with that.
Romario Bryan appears to be okay. Used to seeing him wear the number 45. He's now donning the number 5 today for Vere United, and he's still very much their centre forward.
Scored a brilliant goal against Waterhouse, a really nice work goal, Brian, in that 2-1 loss. But yeah, that's been it.
Molynes on the charge. Plummer sends it one inside the area. No problems for Vere United. Yeah, so just a correction there. I did say that they don't have a goal scorer in their starting lineup. They do have the one goal scorer.
Yeah,
in Romario Bryan with the 1 goal.
Yeah. They have one on the bench in Ricardo Dennis, who wears their number 10. Orlando Lawrence also has one. He's not around. And Lamar Neal recovering from injury.
Yeah, the cut comes up pretty early in this piece, and it is to Brian. After being on the receiving end of one, he commits an infringement himself, and it's really not a good sign, is it? Although he's a striker, he should be able to avoid being in any more illegal altercations. But let's see, you'll never know. There have already been a couple of stoppages in this one, and again, may just be an indication of the type of game that we anticipate here at the Anthony Sporting Sports Complex. But let's see. They do say hope springs eternal in the human breast, and Vere Bryan sends this forward to the edge of the box. And Molynes United can come out with it, and they do.
This could be a game for Coates.
Could be. Ball to the inside the attacking third, right on the edge now is Wright, trying to play through, you know. Didn't quite work out for him on that occasion. Molynes United, they get it back. Ball played out wide. Can he provide a good delivery? It's deflected and behind for a corner kick to Molynes United. Let's see what they can do with this here. That's Javon Brown. Usually is a really good provider. Usually.
Did find Nelson, but it was difficult for him to do something with that.
He'll try again. Brown sends this one inside the area, and this is knotted down inside, looking for Wright. And now Nelson, he never had enough space to try and pull that one off, and he didn't have the accuracy to go with the confidence there.
Yeah, Damian Thomas there, making his way forward, but with a poor attempt.
With a centre-back shot.
No comment. There's a confirmation of the yellow card for Brian. I must say, Brian, that game against Waterhouse, Vere actually took the lead at the start of the second half, and usually when Vere do that, you kind of think to yourself, well, this is another 1-0. Their 2 victories this season have been 1-0 results, and you thought, yeah, they're going to be extra hard to break
This one is
down.
not in forward here. It's right around the keeper. He scores. He keeps scoring, and it's going to be chalked off. The flag is up for offside against the striker. And that's anticlimactic for you.
Wow. He's been in some form, Jason Wright. He can't believe the call. Again, issues in the back. The last few games, it just hasn't been the usual script for Vere United. Well,
I think he was probably just offside. Yeah, he was probably just behind the defender. Even from that angle, you could spot it.
You'll always give the officials the credit.
We have to, Chris. But it was a good finish, though, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It won't even go down as a shot on target.
Just feigned as if he was going to kick it.
Yeah,
and made the goalkeeper commit. That was excellent work. Great composure it was.
Taken quickly. Looking for Dyer again. The flag goes up again against Wright. They've spotted something here, Molynes United.
Very slow to react. We did mention that it is a change back line, which means the chemistry will be affected. No Lumthen, no Fitzroy Cummins, the captain.
Molynes United will be looking at this as an opportunity to strike, to get the 3 points.
Did win the earlier fixture this season back in November by a 0-0. On that evening, it was a Livingston winner, Rashawn Livingston, for their 1-0 win.
Well, they are bossing the possession at the moment, Molynes United. Right there with the infringement.
I love how you say they're bossing it. It's only 8 minutes.
No, they're bossing the 8 minutes.
Okay. Fair enough.
Fair enough. I don't think Vere United, they've had a touch in the opposition penalty area.
Not yet.
Well, here's an opportunity to do so. Oh, that wasn't clear properly. First touch wasn't the best either, was it?
Cohen, was it?
Yep, Dustin Cohen just ran out of ideas there. And now we go the other way through Fakibi Farquharson. And Brian cuts it back, a chance, and it's put wide of the mark.
That should have been a goal. That was Cohen with a missed kick. Fresh off his under 17 call-up for the young Reggae boys. That should have been better from Cohen. He had the space, he had the time, could have taken a touch.
And then there was Farquharson.
Yeah. That's a real opportunity missed, and just a glimpse at why Vere have only scored 5 goals so far this season.
Well, if both teams are going to be creating chances, this may not be a bad game after all. Maybe disappointed with the finishes, but at least the chances are going to be created as, again, they go through the gears here. That's a wonderful ball inside the box, but it was not the best control, was it? On the edge of the area that was. And Vere will try to come forward once again. Pinnock with a touch inside. Brian sends it out wide. Ball sent inside the box. Not clear properly. Molynes United, they just managed to do enough. Trying to find Wright, who couldn't quite turn. And it'll go the other way once again. They're looking good. Vere United, this is Pinnock. Pinnock has 3 to aim for. And
that wasn't one of them.
There. The advertising board behind the goal, they were more in danger than finding a player.
That's the third. That is a real struggle for Molynes. As we said, they're defending. Give up a lot of chances. The assistant coach spoke about them switching off too often, especially in the back line. In fact, the 5 goals against Arnett Gardens, if you look at them, many of them just tap-ins in the 6-yard area. That just cannot be,
well,
at this level.
They have to do some defending now. Nelson drives it. Oh, it had to be saved. And the follow-up is across the line. And this time the flag stays down. It's Jason Wright. That's his 7th this season. And he really got the assistance after that shot from Nicholas Nelson. Morgan did well, but it wasn't good enough. And the rebound put in by Wright. And Molynes United, they get their lead.
Let's look here. It looks as if Morgan goes on a bit early, puts it back into the business area. Should have probably been looking to hold that, Morgan. Could he have? Nelson in the area. Good fake initially. It was going away from Morgan. The hand was weak, and the player to watch, he's 7th. Well, you did say there will be quite a few chances created, end to end at the moment. Quality of the finish is not the best, but it just matters that it's gone over the line legally.
Going. Farquharson, or rather that's Notice, the number 15. That's Farquharson who got that one illegally. And Andrew Hayden is having none of his reaction. Oh my goodness. Farquharson really has to be careful. That was not necessary at all. The yellow card being flashed in his direction, that's just silly. And I suppose that's all because of frustration. And he's the other player to watch for this one.
Let's hope he gives better reasons
to watch him.
Yeah.
Brian overcooked that pass from Javier Brown. Notice. More played inside the area. And no problems there for Peter Harrison, who sends it long looking for Nicholas Nelson. And that one is booted in touch before Nelson can get there.
Great idea, because generally Nicholas Nelson flourishes on that kind of situation. One-on-one situations where he can use his speed. Change of number for Nicholas Nelson. It's not necessarily worked for him so far, though. Wore that number 10 last year. 11 goals and 3 assists on the season for him. Let's change to that 34. Yeah, can't get off the mark. Maybe you should change back to the number 10.
There's an appeal for a handled ball there. Pinnock just gets on with the business at hand. May have been literally. Vere United seek to get a response going. Pinnock will take the throw himself. Yeah, there was a late challenge coming in, and yet another yellow card is going to be shown. And it is shown to Jeremy Nelson, actually. Usually wears the number 7, actually. Jeremy Nelson now down to 24. Yeah. It's almost as if both teams have been superstitious. And they've decided to either change kits, numbers, or positions to see if they can get out of their rut. Free kick to Vere. Can they manufacture something here? Brown sends it long. Headed away. Farquharson goes back to retreat. And he gives up the ball. What a through ball there. And Wright will get it. Just try to go through cheekily there. And Molynes United will start again from the halfway line. They've switched the play now. Touched inside. Nelson to the byline. Pulls it back. It was a tame pass back to his brother, Jeremy, who had made the run inside the area. And now Vere looking to do the basics with Coed. Referee says play on, and they do. Brian. Was always going to be difficult over on that far side for Brian.
Yeah, a bit scrappy in the middle of the park.
A bit. Here's Vere again.
That looks better.
It does. He went off too early. Flag went up.
Harrison again looking to release Nelson early.
Again, they're just trying to pressure the back line of Vere, pretty inexperienced. Now this is Jeremy Nelson. It's Brown. Can fire a shot. But there was a deflection there. And it's a corner kick. And the referee has made his way across to his assistant referee. They're having a discussion. And was there an off-the-ball incident here? I don't think they're talking about dinner, or they were talking about dinner. It must have been something that took place on the field.
Should be cold by the time they get to eat it.
Let's see what referee Hayden does here.
I don't think it was an off-the-ball incident because no one seems injured. Nobody's down.
Huh. That's pretty strange. Here's the corner kick. Heads go up at the back post. It's put inside the danger area once again.
Yeah, Morgan was lucky there, out of position. That's going to be a card.
That's a fourth. Well, no.
Well,
he's decided against it. If it was further up the field, I'm sure another card would have been out, and this time it would have been shown to Shamaria Dennis.
Yeah, gets the warning. Did go for it initially. Andrew Hayden. What have we seen? 4 yellow cards?
That would have been his fourth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. What in the first 90 minutes here?
1 for Molynes, 2 for Vere United.
Right is outside again.
Took a while to get his first goal of the season, Jason Wright, but since then he's been pretty consistent. He's worked his way up to 7 and sits, what, 4th now in the scoring charts. Behind Trevante Stewart, Colin Anderson and Fabian Reed.
Ball sent out wide. Kept in play. Ball played inside the area. Oh, it had to be dug out by Jeremy Nelson.
Is there an offside again?
There was.
Yes. Jason Wright actually tied in 4th with Stephen Barnett of Dumble Holding with 7 goals.
Cohen touches this one inside. Oh, this is good work here. The shot is straight to the goalkeeper. He didn't even have to move a muscle. Shaquille Notice could have gone either side of him.
And again, the quick release.
And it's working.
Yes.
Nelson
Ooh.
trying to play it across.
Was that a foul there?
To Jason Wright. He remains on the turf, Nelson. Referee says play on, though.
Nothing from the assistant.
And Jeremy Nelson now has the ball. Goes over the top. It's headed away. And Vere, they have it.
backline of Vere certainly struggling with the speed and presence of both Wright and Nelson.
Jeremy Nelson is it out over to the right hand side here. Molynes United with the majority of the possession here at 60%. Notice.
Look at the middle of the park, how empty it is. Molynes a bit out of position. Too many players committed forward.
Cohen goes to the byline.
Not strong enough.
No. Was always going to be difficult.
Dunstan Cohen of Denby High plays in the Costa Cup. Was the youngest player ever in the Jamaica Premier League a couple seasons ago.
Brian sends it across. Oh, that's brilliantly done. And the shot took a deflection, but it goes wide. It was Farquharson again.
Yeah, again, just too easy to get into that 6-yard area from a Molynes perspective. Great block in the end, but how did that player get into the 6-yard box so easily? A week ago, they conceded 5 against Arnett Gardens.
Corner kick comes in, and the keeper felt he should have grabbed it, and will do so at the second attempt. Peter Harrison, and again he goes long, looking for Nelson. Keeper decides to stay on his line, or just off it, and it eventually found its way to Mark Morgan. Here is notice. Now Javier Brown. Well, that's a poor ball from him.
Yeah, turnovers have been an issue for him.
Gets it back. Brown collects it, thinking of a shot, tries the shot, just over the top. Still wanting to open his account this season, Javier Brown.
Scored 3 last season. Brown was joint leading goal scorer, has 10 in his Premier League career. And with the absence of Fitzroy Cummins, he wears the captain's armband. He's had a couple injuries as well. He was out, did miss a couple games due to injury. Brown. I do rather this starting lineup of Vere United when it has both Brown and Neil in it. We always talk about it, but unfortunately, when one is fit, the other is injured. Neil is on the bench, but he's not fit enough to play the entire 90. But when they're playing together, the midfield of Vere looks a lot better.
And let's hope Brown is okay, because it may be an issue where he won't be able to play with Lamar Neil.
There's Neil getting his socks ready, so yeah, it would be unfortunate if he ends up being the replacement.
The replacement as opposed to playing alongside him, yes, indeed.
Yeah, he is a little bit more creative than Brown is. Neil does have 2 goals already this season, but I think they have a fairly good understanding in the middle of the park and they connect well. And I think with both on the field, it will create more opportunities for Brian, who is a talented player up front for them. And when I was speaking to Linville Dixon off here, and he said, you know, for long periods, the defense was playing really well. He has talented attackers, he thinks, even though they are young. But the connectivity in the middle of the park, they're just not winning the middle. And in those 2 1-0 wins, Lamar Neil, a main part of that. Well, he was a goal scorer in both, actually. But apart from that, just the work of the midfield with himself and Brown and others were much improved.
I think Brown is going to be okay, though.
Good for them.
Oh, he allowed it to bounce. Could be an issue here. And, yeah, they just look a little bit uncertain in the back, don't they, Vere?
They don't look, they are uncertain. There's not a problem in terms of their speed in the back line with Strawn and company, but the issue is the experience, as you're saying. And it's something that Vere haven't had to deal with for so long.
Notice trying to make some space for himself with the run. Decides to go back to Pinnock. Brown is back on the field. There he is. Looking to switch the play. Farquharson Still looking for options forward. Weren't many. And Wright does well.
Stops in the middle of the park to argue, though, for Kibi Farkas.
Ball over the top, looking for Nicholas Nelson, looking to get the right bounce here. Back away from goal for the time being, looking for the support maybe. And in the end, it's not the Nicholas Nelson of old, is it?
Yeah, a bit isolated was Nelson. I would like to see himself and Wright play closer together, though. It is 4-4-2 they're playing. And even though at times Dennis joins them, I still think they need to play closer. When one of them pull wide, the other one needs to come into a central location so that they can help each other. At times, one is playing left and one is playing too far right.
Almost as if they're playing the wide forwards.
Yeah, without a central presence. And that is why when Nelson is pulled wide there, he has no option but to try and beat the player and get off a shot. I think both are good enough passers that if they play closer together, they can probably bear more fruit in terms of their link-up play and create more opportunities.
Well, that's the first time that they're playing together in that role, so maybe it will take some getting used to. He certainly needs a goal to just regain any semblance of confidence, really. Brian needs a good ball here. It's over the top looking for Campbell. Brian will get it back. Touched out wide. Brown. Referee says play on. Javier Brown looking for the give and go. It wasn't going. And it goes the other way. And he does beat the offside trap. Nicholas Nelson couldn't quite go forward at a fair clip with the ball at his feet. Notice to Janoy Williams. Campbell trying to win it. And an infringement there. Free kick to Molynes United.
Still pretty happy with the start, not Linval Dixon but Alex Thomas getting the goal. Not many opportunities so far for Vere United, and they've spent a lot of time in and around the 18-yard area of Vere United.
What a turn from Jason Wright after receiving the ball from Plummer. It's right to the byline. Can he pull it back? Deflected onto the bar.
It's a goal.
The goal is given. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
who will
it
get
did cross the line. And Wright is the one who's celebrating, but I'm not sure if he will get it.
Or is it an own goal? It looked like it came off the defender.
It may very well be an own goal here, but for Molynes United, it really doesn't matter.
Lovely turn by Wright, wasn't it? Look at the strength and pace. We'd wondered where the speed of Jason Wright, the explosiveness had gone. That's an own goal.
Did he come off the keeper himself?
No, I think he came off the defender that was tracking here. He's gone out of picture. It certainly wasn't on target. It was a pass from Wright across the 6-yard area. Came off with the tracking defender. I'm not sure if it was drawn in the end. But nevertheless, 2-0. Yeah, that's a big goal for Molynes in the 30th minute.
Well, Molynes United with a 2-goal advantage here. Vere United, can they have a response? We'll talk about 2 scrappy goals in a game.
Really love the work there, though, of Jason Wright. He's obviously a lot fitter now. That pass, yes, he's improved his speed, Jason Wright, but he's certainly not quick enough to get to that one. Look at it here. I think, who is this tracking in 19?
It's Strawn.
Yeah, it's all Strawn. Oh, yeah, it is Strawn. Lovely camera work there to pick it up.
It's Phillips.
Kemoy Phillips.
Kemoy Phillips, actually.
Yeah, who is in the right back position. Number 19. He was tracking Phillips. And unfortunately, yeah, it will go against him.
He's not going to like that at all.
th goal of the season for Molynes. Vere United, who not very often do they concede more than one goal in a game.
But it was always on the cards, right? No Victoria Cummings.
Yeah, and
no Lumsden.
The frequency at which it's happening now, so we're in what, match week 18? Match week 16 was just the second time that they had ever conceded, that they had conceded 2 goals in any game, and now it's 3 games in a row. So yeah, that's very concerning for Linval Dixon.
Here's an effort that is straight to goalkeeper Mark Morgan.
Lost 2-0 to Portmore, lost 2-1 to Waterhouse, and now they're down 2-0 against Molynes. For much of the season, they had the second best defensive record behind Mount Pleasant.
The other card is going to be shown to Shaquille Notice.
Yeah. The handles are coming off.
Free kick to Molynes United. Talk about the team being in the driver's seat here. Looking for a third, looking for right. There's an appeal for a handled ball inside the box. And nothing doing on that occasion. This is Parkinson. Nice ball inside to Javier Brown.
That's too much though.
He is forced wide, and Brian was almost flung out of the way there.
Was a hand in the face.
Or on the throat.
Yeah, a bit strong as well. I thought he could have gotten a foul there. I was surprised the whistle didn't come. That was Cunningham running in. And yeah, actually left the ball and attacked the player. Over aggression there from Cunningham. And Brian is still down.
Well, the change is going to be made. Sean Campbell is going to be taken out.
And Linval Dixon has decided that it's necessary to have Lamar Neal on the field now. So Neal will join Brown. And this is a positive move for me from the coaching staff. He has to risk it. Neal, of course, coming back from injury, so there were concerns that he wouldn't be able to play the entire game. He is hoping that he can last 55 minutes. Well, we'll only wait and see. But at 2-0 down, you have to try something at this point. Get into the game.
Oh, Brian is still getting the attention.
I'm surprised that wasn't a whistle against Cunningham, though. It was clear that he actually looked like he left the ball and got rid of Brian.
Concentrated on getting rid of Brian, but yeah. And it wasn't subtle.
No. He's not usually subtle, though, Cunningham. Aggressive style defender.
Maybe this will see a change in formation as well, that they won't go with a front three, but they'll have more in the middle of the park. Vere United. A mistake at the back. Doesn't prove to be too costly. Another whistle goes. Free kick in favor of Vere. Pinnock.
See what Neil and Brown can accomplish, especially with the likes of Farkason.
Neil's first touch was to place that one out wide, and it's kept in. It's back to Neil. Farkason. Fakibi Farkason. Deflected into touch.
Very able players for Fakibi Farkason. His issue has been fitness. And yeah, not in terms of injury, but just being fit, working on his actual fitness, is personal work. And that's been why he hasn't been able to start so far this season. Well, this is just his second start, back-to-back starts for him. But yeah, there's no doubt about his talent, but yeah, he needs to make sure that he can put in the work.
Farkason's ball inside the area, overcooked a bit. Clearance made by Molynes United, right, with a wonderful first touch. Then he was fouled. Keeper decided to come off his line.
Miscommunication there, though.
No communication, actually.
Cunningham again in the mix of it. Harrison apologizes. I think he had no business there because Cunningham had it covered.
Well, he did get there before Cunningham. Lamar Neal still has it. Not the best pass, was it? That'll go the other way. Jeremy Nelson looking to spread it out wide. Finding his brother. It's a good ball. First touch should have been better, though. Still they have the possession. Molynes United. Notice. Neil. Cohen. Notice looking for options. Cohen lost it. Ball over the top, looking for Nicholas Nelson. Can he catch this in his stride? Nelson out wide. Molynes still with it. Both hit inside the area. Easily handled by Vere. Molynes, they get it back. Plummer was looking for the foul. Didn't go his way. Nice turn. Farkason was fouled. So this is the goal, the second goal for Molynes United. Wright did really well, and he was going to cut it across. Clearly an own goal.
Clearly. The fourth official is adamant that it should be awarded to Jason Wright, but I think even he knows that this is not his goal. That's a certain pass. He was looking for Nelson, was it, who was lurking on the 6-yard area. Nicholas Nelson, his strike partner. And it's quite obvious off the body of Kemoy Phillips and onto the crossbar. No way is it a Jason Wright goal.
Trying to barrel his way through. And this could be another Jason Wright goal. No, he offers it up on the platter. Was looking for Nelson to make a run there. It wasn't the best pass, I think. But Wright should have gotten his second of the game there.
Yeah, nice pass by Jeremy Nelson to find Wright. Quite unselfish from the striker. And I think when Jason Wright looked at the angle, the keeper actually did well. Look at it here. He gets into the area. The keeper did very well, made himself big. There was nowhere for Jason Wright really to place that around the keeper. And so gave him the eyes and opted for Nelson. But yeah, I agree with you. It was slightly behind Nelson though. He needed to play it more with an angle.
Cohen.
Probably a little harder than Nelson would have been in.
Not sure exactly what Cohen was thinking there.
I can see why as well. Jason Wright wants his strike partner to get on the score sheet.
Yeah.
That's what he needs. He needs a goal, Nicholas Nelson, and then chances are, as we've seen many times, everything will all of a sudden become fluent.
Notice Phillips. Nice touch.
That's nice.
Beautiful movement. Surely a chance here. Oh, he's put that over the top and he can't believe it. What a chance for Vere to get back one in this one.
Cohen with the opportunity yet again, and that is a really poor finish from the Denby youngster. That is a really poor finish. It's got to be doing better. Yes, he was under pressure, but it didn't require so much power either.
No, he did.
It just required a bit of finesse from Dunstan Cohen and more frustration for Linval Dixon. Why did he go for so much power there? And the instep as well. Just needed to dink it over the keeper. The keeper had already committed. He was down on the ground. And wow.
They're getting the chances.
The frailty
Cohen
of the
again,
Molynes defense.
trying to thread that one through. The keeper is off his line, Harrison. And there's a collision there in the aftermath of the clearance. And there's not much movement going on there.
Yeah, left exposed again. Damian Thomas. Brian did somewhat protect himself. Turns sideways and got his arms up. He should be okay. I'm glad it wasn't a head collision there, because that could have been nasty. Again, goalkeeper Harrison not happy at all with the defending, and you can understand why. It's just too easy for Vere to work their way into the 18-yard area. I think since the midfield changes, they have been doing it better. Their midfield looks a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're getting those short 5-10 yard passes off a lot more, finding the holes, but the finishing it's just not there. He should have had a brace already, should Cohen.
Could say the same thing about Wright.
Yeah. But based on the officials, he does have a brace.
Well, the officials are wrong. I'm not sure where them being so adamant is coming from at all, because they don't have access to replays.
Alexi Perry
and
there.
if they did, as we see 3 minutes being confirmed for stoppages,
yeah.
If they did and they're looking at those replays and still come up with that decision, well, don't insult me, Chris.
Yeah, Andrea Hayden is getting something in his ear. Maybe it's to tell him that it really is an own goal. But I'm sorry, referee Perry, fourth official. That is not a Jason Wright finish. 7 goals on the season though for Jason Wright. It's been a really good return for him.
I like the fact that a number of goal scorers are taking their chances in the league.
Yeah, coming back into the Jamaica Premier League, was out for a bit. Was overseas as well, Jason Wright. Former Woolman's standout as a youngster. Played in the Under-17 World Cup for Jamaica.
He did.
Jason Wright.
Ball dinked over the top, looking for Nelson. The flag is up for offside. Probably in his time, Jason Wright, he probably didn't carry as much noise and attention as, say, Dijon whisper. Richards has done did in the last schoolboy football season, but he was being discussed a lot as the next big thing out of Jamaica.
Yeah.
Jason Wright.
And did actually play in a youth setup, which Dejan Richards hadn't done.
Oh. Pass straight down the middle.
And when he first came into the Premier League this season, he did look a step and a half slow.
Yeah.
But he's obviously worked at his fitness and match play, of course. And
showing his
getting on the
quality
score
on quite a
sheet,
few
his confidence
occasions.
would have come back. And he's always been an intelligent player up front as well. Thinks the game well. Pretty decent.
Here's
passer.
Lamar Neal.
Generally makes good choices.
Neal didn't make the best choice there as he tried to play it for Farquharson, who has it now. Farquharson with the chip inside the area, and you can hear the shout from Harrison from here. And again, he sends that long looking for Wright, but it will go from one goalkeeper to the next.
I mean, he's coming, Harrison. Bulldozes anything in his way.
Brian actually stooped on the edge of the box, just making sure that he was out of the way on that occasion.
Could have managed another collision. That's Dustin Cohen, who has had the best chances for Vere United. 2 of them.
And that's the end of the game, the first half, actually. Yeah, Jason Wright has been very much involved in both goals, but one of them will not be awarded to him. It actually came off Kemoy Phillips last before it crossed the line. But yeah, Molynes United, they've taken their chances. Vere United, they've had several themselves, but they haven't taken any, and that's been the story of their season so far, hasn't it? Can they get back into the game? That's a question. They have some work to do come second half. After 45 minutes, though, it's Vere United 0, Molynes United 2.
It's the Jamaica Premier League powered by Digicel. And after 45 minutes at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex, Arnett Gardens, it's Vere United 0, Molynes United 2. Let's have a look at the first half highlights. Andrew Hayden, the man with the whistle. And Molynes on the front foot right away in their full yellow with blue socks. Jason Wright, their leading goal scorer. That was a lovely move, only to see the flag go up. Thought he had his 7th of the season there, but it was not to be. Then Vere United getting into the area. Romario Bryan finding Dustin Cohen and then Fakibi Farquharson. Neither able to get a shot on target. This has been the story of the season for Vere United. Then this moment after 12 minutes. Wide ball played to Nicholas Nelson. Nelson with a shot parried by Morgan into the legs of Jason Wright, and it wasn't the cleanest finish, but they all count. Jeremy to his brother Nicholas. Nicholas with the strike, still looking for his first. Actually, Wright did well to trap that mid-drift, in his mid-drift, and then bundling it over the line for his 7th of the season. And Molynes 1-0 after just 12 minutes. They continued to drive forward, and then this moment, lovely turn it was by Wright, trying to find Nelson on the edge of the area, off the defender Kemoy Phillips, onto the crossbar and over the line, and it was 2-0, an own goal against Phillips. That came after 30. Great move, great strength, great explosive moment this for Jason Wright. And looking for the pass with the right foot. It looked like it was accurate as well. And Phillips off his body. And 2-0 to Molynes after 30 minutes. They were certainly enjoying the better of the half. They had this opportunity right to get his second. Instead tried the unselfish move to play in his partner, Nicholas Nelson, but the pass was not accurate. And then, yeah, then Dunstan Cohen had this glorious opportunity to cut the lead in half. And he was off target. Not the finish he was looking for, and this is how the statistics look. So Vere United still drawing blank after another 45 minutes. 3 shots on target from their 6 attempts. 4 on target from 6 for Molynes. And yet 10 fouls, 3 yellow cards shown by Andrew Hayden. And there was a 1 near the end. I actually think it's 4, 3 for Vere and 1 for Molynes. And yeah, 5 offside for Molynes. Jason Wright, the guilty party on most occasions. 3 corners, majority for Molynes. They have the majority of the possession and all of the goals after 45 minutes. It's Molynes United 2, Vere United 0. We go to a break. When we come back, second half action and more.
So lots to look forward to on the Home of Champions as far as the UEFA Champions League is concerned on SportsMax 2. Tuesday at 3 p.m., 4 p.m. ECT. Man City, RB Leipzig, pretty much level at 1 apiece heading into the second leg of their round of 16 time. Napoli with a 2-0 advantage over Eintracht Frankfurt. That match is Wednesday at 3 p.m. Jamaica time, 4 p.m. ECT. And of course, you can catch the pre-game show 45 minutes before kickoff. Yours truly and the gang will be there in studio as we prepare for the second half of this Jamaica Premier League encounter between Vere United and Molynes United FC. Molynes with a couple of scrappy goals to their names, but they all count as, well, in this case, 2. And so they have the advantage heading into the second stanza here. But that's not to say that Vere didn't have the opportunities. They just didn't take them in that first half. And it seems as if Vere, they are making another change here. Jason Dye is onto the park. It is an attacking change as he has replaced Alwyn Strong. Chris Taylor still with me in the commentary box. I'm going to hear his thoughts momentarily, especially thoughts on that change in particular, with Jason Dye coming into the fold now. But it's Molynes United to get the action underway here. Relatively comfortable with the scoreline.
The scoreline is comfortable, but can't say the game right throughout has been comfortable because they've given up opportunities. It's just that Vere have not made the most of them thus far. Do think Vere have looked a bit better since the changes, since Neil came in.
Yeah, Neil came in that first half, replacing Sean Campbell.
And they've created more chances, especially through the middle.
Yeah.
Himself, Farquharson and Brown, very busy in the middle of the park. Shaquille noticed as well.
Yeah.
They look a lot more solid, but yeah, they need better finesse up front.
Well, they have to do some defending now. Brown plays this one inside, but Jeremy Nelson was surrounded by a couple of players. Don't think they'll hesitate too much to play the ball around. This one dinked inside. It was on that occasion Plummer tried to get the ball inside the area. Still with Molynes United though. And that one, I reckon that it could have been left alone by Morgan, you know.
It's a corner.
It is a corner because Morgan touched it last.
Well, a bit sloppy from Morgan. Originally hails from Lionel Town in Clarendon. Well south in the parish.
Plummer. Rashawn Plummer to deliver this one. Sends this one inside the area, and they're appealing for a handball.
Plummer, who for all of last season and much of this one, should be a handball, played in the centre-back position, Plummer.
Yeah.
Now the vice-captain of the team. And
playing on the left side of the defence.
Left side of the defence, yeah.
Fill a role.
Fill a role, yeah.
Phillips nods this one. Was looking for the return, and Plummer a little bit clumsy there, colliding into Cohen, who's been in the wars this evening. His teammates continue without him. And an opportunity here that's wide of the mark. Not sure why they continue without Cohen. He was obviously in pain. They took the free kick. Didn't make much use of it.
Oh, he did find his way to Dyer though, but made a meal of it. Here it was.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's a poor challenge. That is a poor challenge by Plummer. Almost like a scissors trap.
It was. And it affected his knee there.
Yeah. Giving that cheeky smile, Plummer. I actually think the Molynes defence was better when Plummer was playing in that central role. He was last season actually did pretty well at centre back.
I agree.
And I'm a bit surprised that they've deployed him to the left hand side because, yeah, the spine of the defence for Molynes has been a big issue. And I more think he probably needed a partner in the central defensive role rather than putting him out wide. He's not a natural overlapping wing back by any means. Doesn't get forward much. No. Wouldn't say he's the quickest either. Not a natural wing player, so much better through the spine, Plummer. And a lot of the games we did with Molynes, good things were said about him last season in that central defence. It just, his partners and the midfield, the defensive midfield of Molynes just allowed too many. Too much room.
Farquharson got there. Notice tries to play it on. Phillips decides to go inside the area. And he was upset, Lamar Neal, that he didn't get the ball as he had made the run on the outside.
Believe it or not, he is the leading goal scorer for Vere United with 2. Lamar Neal. 5 goals in 17.5 games for Vere United.
Which in and of itself is a record. No other team in this stage of the competition in the Jamaica Premier League has scored less. And we're considering teams who are actually in the relegation zone.
Yeah. And even with such a dismal scoring record, they're still not in the relegation zone.
That's the point. That is the point. But it's still historic. Nelson. Brown plays it to the edge of the box. So there's a coming together that's awkward. Outside the area, it's a free kick in a dangerous spot.
What kind of challenge was that?
It wasn't. The other card is shown to Pinnock, and he has a surprised look on his face. And I'm not sure why. He clattered into Shamario Dennis.
Yeah, it looked like a bit of karate, ninjutsu. I'm not sure what form, but yeah, that was poor. I'm not even sure why he approached it in that way, Pinnock. Yeah.
Well, I think he's trying to explain himself that he was actually trying to attack the ball, but goodness me, he was miles away from the ball.
Yeah, he would have a hard task selling that story. Deserved yellow card for Steve Pinnock. Makes it the 4th player from Vere United to pick up a yellow card.
Well, Molynes United, they have an opportunity here to extend their lead. Jason Wright is behind this. Is that Javon Brown who's beside him as well? We know that he can utilize his left foot. Javon Brown. But you reckon that Wright is going to be favored to take this one, even if it's probably better positioned.
Nicholas Nelson is very good from the dead ball as well, but he's not winner. I think the left footer.
It is Brown! Ooh. Oh, he clipped the crossbar and went behind. Mark Morgan had no response there. He was never going to get there. And he had to thank his lucky stars as well as the crossbar. That got in the way of that one.
Good attempt. Certainly suited the left foot of Brown based on the angle. And had Morgan going the wrong way, yeah, not dipping enough. Javon Brown, who's been deployed in a more advanced role today. In fact, he would have been a normal left back.
Yeah, but he's now playing in the middle of the park, or left side of midfield, I should say.
Yeah. And as a left back, I thought he needed to get forward a lot more, Brown.
Because he had those type of crosses.
Yeah, he has good deliveries, but his issue was, I'm not sure if it's a fitness issue with Brown, but he wasn't able to go up and back, up and down in the manner that was needed. The modern wing backs have to go up and down, and when he went up, a lot of times struggled to come back, and so left a hole in the defense, Brown. But yeah, does have good deliveries with the left foot.
Legs tangled.
Pinnock again.
Taken quickly. Ball played inside. Oh, lovely 1-2. Nelson! Remember how it feels. Nicholas Nelson. He's back, and finally, a goal beside his name. He just needed for it to have been reactivated, and even his coach is in the mix celebrating. Nicholas Nelson makes it 3-0 for Molynes United, and he is back.
And that's why they need to play closer together. Lovely 1-2 play by Jason Wright and Nicholas Nelson. That is what they need, Molynes. Too far apart on too many occasions. But look at this. Lovely 1-2 passing, and then the skill and the presence of mind and the composure of the 11-goal man from last season, Nicholas Nelson. And yeah, he's finally off the mark this season.
Look at that smile. Look at that smile. That's relief there for the striker. The assistant coach said in the pre-game interview that he was going to be playing as one or two strikers, which means that he would have been closer to goal, and having accepted the opportunity from Jason Wright, he really did well to convert.
Michael Blygen did speak about the need for Nicholas to get on the score sheet, and a gentle smile from the assistant coach. But yeah, good work. Of course, Nicholas fresh from his loan spell at Club Social Deportivo in Guatemala.
Javier Brown. Brown lining up an effort. High in the end from the Vere United skipper.
It was a bit of a surprise to me. Only a amassed 2 goals in 21 appearances in Guatemala.
Yeah.
Was Nicholas Nelson. That was a bit disappointing based on the form he was coming in with from Jamaica, where he had 11 goals and 3 assists in the Premier League. But yeah, he'll say he's back, and that smile shows it. By the way, first assist of the afternoon as well to Jason Wright.
Yeah, because the own goal wouldn't count as an assist for him, obviously. I think that should change.
Love the
by the way.
That we spoke about the fact that and how good they were as passers as well, both those players, and it showed there. Look at the touch and presence of mind of both of them. 2 mature players. Yeah. The chemistry was really good. And yes, the first time they're playing in that role together, but obviously there's some understanding, and it showed there.
Quality players will understand each other. That one is just wide of the mark, coming in from notice. Yeah, but I wasn't Neil.
And when you're playing with a 4-4-2, that's what you want. You want those 2 forwards to have that
dynamic
synergy. Yeah. And it couldn't have been better than that play. That was a great illustration of how it should be. Let's hope they do play close together, not so wide apart.
And maybe that goal will open up the floodgates for Nicholas Nelson.
Yeah, a bit of play acting though from Jeremy Nelson. We don't want to see that. Looking to get notice in trouble, who is already on a yellow card.
Well, he is on
I don't like to see that.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
Maybe it's just a little bit too late for them to make a play for the playoff spots. Molynes United. With the 3 points, they'll go up to 19 points and they'll be in
10th.
Maybe in 9th, actually.
No.
When you talk about
Mobile United have 20. So they'll be
in 10th.
Below
Yeah.
Mobile United in 10th position. They would overtake Tivoli. But it's a move in the right direction for sure. And as you said, 3 goals thus far. It's a really good return. There is the incident. Just hit into the knee of Javier Brown was Nicholas Nelson. Inadvertently.
But the best news for them is that they're moving further away from the relegation zone. They were barely above the likes of Jamaica, and who knows, maybe Falkland and Chapelton can still make a run.
Yeah, but space now, as you said.
There is space.
19 points.
And it's Vere in some bit of trouble now, although they are 5 points ahead of the relegation zone, but that's not a lot, especially if you're not winning games.
Yeah, but when you look at the results too, they are going in the wrong direction. Not only are the losses, but they're conceding goals now. That was a strong part of their unit.
Yeah.
They were mean at the back.
Lamar Neal has time for a cross. The header is wide though from Cohen. Oh, he's been involved.
Yeah, well, that's the closest he's come. Harrison is frustrated with the defense line. This would be a rare clean sheet if it remains so for Molynes. 7 match weeks they've gone without a clean sheet.
Yep.
Molynes United. So that's been a real struggle for them. And conceded, what, 30 goals already this season? Only Falkland worse with 35. And the last time Molynes scored 3 goals, the 30th of October, 2022. 3-2 win against Humble Lion.
Well, Humble Lion, they're in action a little bit later on, and they have improved since then greatly.
Yeah, because they're now in 5th position.
Yeah, exactly. Battle of 4th and 5th as
Both
they
tied.
face off with Harbour View.
Just goal difference separating them.
Yeah.
So a win today for
Humble Lion will see them in the top 4.
Oh, yeah.
That should be a good game.
Humble Lion, the meaner defense. Harbour View with a more affluent attack.
Oh. Both of them aren't real goal scorers, aren't they?
Well, Harbour View are what, 4th best with 25 goals. 4th best in the Premier League.
Indeed.
So they're not that bad. And I'd have to say their goal scoring was probably, well, you say slowed a bit. They did go through a lull.
Yeah, they did in recent times. Humble Lion, of course, is the joint best defense.
With Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, tied with Mount Pleasant.
A position that was held by Vere at one point.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of this.
Phillips plays it inside the area. Ferguson couldn't quite get it under his spell. Right, controls well. Moves away from notice. Right. Having shaken off a defender, sends it out wide. Janoy Williams. Jeremy Nelson. Javon Brown. Brown sends it out wide. Nicholas Nelson pulls it back. It was right, was at the far post, just waiting on it. Clearance made.
Just a little bit slow off the mark there was Nicholas Nelson. Get into that ball.
Medical staff coming onto the park to get, well, I think it's Javon Brown.
So magic spray there, Sean Fraser, assistant coach at Harbour View.
Much travelled footballer in his day as well. Brown is gonna run it off. There's a 20-year-old, Janoy Williams, former JC player. Is Janoy Williams.
Take the corner.
He will. Wasn't the best delivery, was it? But here's an effort that's high and wide. And that came in from Shamaria Dennis. There's still quite a bit of time remaining in this one,
25 minutes, but at 3-0 down. Yeah. Probably good night, sweet princess. On the lines.
Maybe.
For Vere, I should say.
Maybe. Phillips. Not a lot of bodies to aim for inside the area. Farquharson's delivery. Another corner kick for Vere. Farquharson will try again. Better delivery this time. Somehow, Molynes United managed to escape. Nice take, but he was challenged. Brown was looking for something more. Vere set to make a change. Shaquille notice is coming off. And Ricardo Dennis replaces him. Was a handled ball there from Farquharson. It seems it was Farquharson, or was it Phillips? Plummer now. Brown with space. Brown firing a shot that was charged down. Williams tucks it inside. Brown again on his left. Goes for goal! Magnificent! The turn, then the shot. And Mark Morgan had no chance to stop that one. He opens his account this season, Javon Brown. And what a way to do so, with a strike to remember.
Morgan caught off guard. Didn't need much of a backlift as well, Javon Brown. Talented left foot. And yeah, had a free kick from that same range about 15 minutes ago. Hit the top of the crossbar and over. This time,
the roof
he fine-tuned the strike.
Yep. Much better placement.
First time this season that Molynes have managed 4 goals. You have to go back some time to see when last Vere United conceded 4 goals. It hasn't happened this season. Yeah, definitely a step in the wrong direction for Linval Dixon and his team. The strong aspect of this Vere squad was their defense, and it's gone all wrong tonight. And for the last 2 or 3 weeks, in fact.
Question is going to be asked, can they avoid relegation? Play continues. As the shot was deflected, and that should, well, that goes behind for a corner kick.
Dennis, the substitute, getting on another player who's been way too hot and cold for the likes of Coach Dixon. With his quality,
he should be in the starting lineup.
Yeah, he should be in the starting lineup. Ricardo Dixon. Dennis. Sorry.
Corner kick taken at the back post, and no issues there for Harrison.
He's a barber as well by trade, Peter Harrison. Apparently a pretty skillful one, the Molynes goalkeeper.
Well, if he did that himself,
yeah.
If he did that himself, he's pretty decent.
Yeah. Apparently a well-respected barber as well. When he's not between the sticks for Molynes.
You know, he could have easily been a model for one of those photo shoots in the barbershops that we usually see.
Yeah.
Based on the style that he has.
Yeah, they always show these men with the specially styled beards, especially.
I wonder if we can get a close up there, because that actually looks pretty good.
I wonder how much of his
That's not
team
bad at
members
all.
he takes care of as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty well lined up.
Well styled.
Indeed.
I doubt he would have actually done his hair himself, but one does never see. You never know. But
I feel we need to ask him now. we can give him a plug. I wouldn't be surprised if he did that himself, to be fair.
Yeah. But
Plummer doesn't.
His
go to
beard
the
is
barber.
longer, but he obviously has it lined as well. No, he certainly does. Look at that.
He does have
it's
it
very
lined,
similar
yeah.
in terms of the line. It's just that it's a lot more straggly and long.
Yes. Look what we were talking about at a football game. Anyway.
Yeah. Multiple skills.
Of course.
Of players.
Next time he should give us his email address, and we'll do a quick promotion for him.
Yeah. I doubt he could help me much, though, Donald.
No, neither myself, but I'm not complaining at all.
You have to grow here first, don't you?
Yes, and I make sure I don't. There's no lining up in this direction, I can tell you. There's a yellow card that's going to be brandished now to... He was begging. I'm not sure what he was doing there, but he gave a nervous applause at the end of it. Did Damian Thomas. The team is leading 4-0. That's not necessary at all.
Another yellow card. At this point, can Vere get a consolation or bring some nerves to the Molynes defense line? Would be the first.
Yeah, it would be. Two-man wall being set up by Peter Harrison. Well, that came straight out of the training ground. Just wasn't accurate.
Lamar Neal looking for Dennis. Or Farquharson actually, but no chance there.
So, a couple of changes going to be made by Molynes United, including a change in goal.
Romeo Daniels, is it? No.
So Tyrese Winter is going to come on.
That looks like Maximus Davis, is it? Yeah. Formerly of Arnett Gardens, Maximus Davis.
Goal scorer Javon Brown is coming off as well.
Yeah, what a goal it was by Javon Brown.
Is that Nevada player? Oh, it's Jaheim Palmer, in fact.
I guess at this point, not taking any chances, Alex Thomas. Resting some players that he certainly will need. Goalkeeper Harrison is one of them. I think you would love a clean sheet, though, considering they've got 7 match weeks without one. I'm not sure if Harrison is too pleased, or is he? Is he carrying a bit of a niggle as well? Bit of a grimace there.
I think he's fine.
Here's Maximus. Acquired recently from Arnett Gardens. Looks a little heavy as well, though, Donald. I wonder. He hasn't had a lot of match time.
And just to confirm that Winter actually came on for Shamario Dennis. Farquharson. Oh, he has acres of space to work with Lamar Neal. But in the way was Damian Thomas. To be fair, Neal made it too easy for the defender.
Agreed.
Farquharson again. There's Phillips. Phillips allowed to make the cross. It's a good one, you know. But so many players back there for Molynes United. Jason Wright with the turn. Then the supply to Nicholas Nelson. Nelson looking for options. And was he impeded? No, according to the referee.
That's a poor touch. Wow. And how is that not a foul? Farquharson tussles back for it.
And won it. Fairly, according to referee Hayden. Lamar Neal. Brown trying to stab it forward. Neal picks it up again with the scoop inside. First touch, the second touch saved by Davis. It was an opportunity for Jason Dyer.
Nice ball over the top by Neal. First touch wasn't bad by Dyer, a little bit heavy. But yeah, Davis did well. Brave goalkeeping, made himself big, committed, and then got to the rebound. Took a knock for it as well, but that's what you want to see from your reserve goalkeeper, coming on, getting into the action right away, picking up the tempo of the game.
Yeah. Vere just having the majority of the possession in the last few minutes or so. Molynes United not minding that at all.
Yeah, just important that they don't get lax and finish off the game in a strong manner. Molynes, you want to concede needless goals. Goal difference could be very important as the season goes on as well.
You have to be professional about it.
Yeah, and there is confidence that comes from keeping a clean sheet and showing that you can do it, especially when you haven't kept one in 7 weeks.
Farquharson looking to deny Molynes United that. That's a poor pass. And here's Nelson now, striding forward.
Nice.
Ball played inside to right.
For once, the touch from right wasn't good.
I think he actually did pretty well to get there, though.
Yeah, just wanted, I think, to nudge it ahead of the defender and then run onto it, but played it too much into the path of the centre-back, and it was well covered in the end. But again, nice link-up play with himself and Nelson. They certainly are playing a lot closer together now. If you notice, when one of them pull wide, the other one comes into the central position.
Yep.
Yeah.
Vere moving quickly. Anyway, will do for Molynes United at this moment.
Dangerous. Very dangerous.
Well, he's done it
there, Plummer.
by himself. Trying to send that one out wide.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Phillips. Here they come. Vere. Oh, he was pushed in the back, wasn't he? Plummer again. Phillips behind this one. Three-man wall set up. Farquharson. Farquharson goes goalwards. What a save from Maximus Davis. Had to move quickly to his left to get behind it. Oh, that was going in, you know.
I think he was going to hit the upright. But he would not have known that. You think it was sneaking in?
I think so. Probably off the post. Here's Farquharson.
So it wasn't going to hit the upright. From a Vere perspective, good to see Farquharson being able to play as much as 83 minutes already. And obviously he's going to continue. That's been something that has been missing in the Farquharson game, match fitness. So this is a step in the right direction for him because he's such a talented player from the schoolboy days coming through. And I think he'll be a good addition in the middle with the likes of Neil, Neil and Brown.
Two more changes to be made by Molynes United. Jeremy Nelson is off, so Jay McBean comes on. And Joshua Duar replaces Nelson. And here's an effort. First shot, I think that came in from Duar. So Jason Wright for play of the game?
Yeah, for sure for me. Scored one, caused one, assisted one.
Hello?
Oh, not much debate.
Photo, mic check.
That was the quickest deliberation I've ever been a part of.
Photo.
With you, yes.
Except for when Fabian Reed had scored the hat-trick. That was pretty straightforward as well.
Oh, yeah. We've seen a few hat-tricks this season, haven't we?
Yeah, we have.
I remember last season there was none. The season
previous
before
there was one.
One. Yeah, that was a Horatio Morgan hat-trick from Tivoli, number 6. Yeah, lots of braces last season, but no hat-tricks. But this season,
we've seen braces and hat-tricks.
Yeah, quite a few hat-tricks, in fact.
Oh, he's lining up a shot, you know, but it's well wide of the mark. As we take a look at the SportsMax app moment of the game, courtesy of the SportsMax app, it was wonderful interplay between Jason Wright and Nicholas Nelson here. Oh, that's lovely. And Nelson on the score sheet for the first time this season. It's been a minute. It really has been. And the expression on his face afterwards just told the entire story. Was really composed inside the box and just placed it into the corner with his left foot. Even his coach, Alex Thomas, was happy there. And it really was a moment. And it was the SportsMax app moment of the game.
Yeah. Lovely play between the two centre forwards. It's one of those that will make a reel at the end of the season just for the team aspect of it.
Indeed. Turn by Dua, tried to set free Jason Wright. Ball played through the middle. Vere still with it. Brown. There's the ball inside from Pinnock. Vere coming forward.
Yeah, not the best clearance by Janoi Cunningham. Cunningham, another one of those players that made a transfer from Arnett Gardens. Big centre back for Molynes.
Daniel Daly is on for Cohen. Oh, poor ball in the middle. Decided to turn into traffic. Should have let the ball go, I felt. Williams. Well, yeah, the card is going to be shown. And he goes into the referee's book, so J. Bean having just been on the park.
Yeah. Just ran into the back of Brown. Clumsy. Well, it's not the most orthodox pass you will see.
It barely passes for unorthodox.
Yeah, this is a really disappointing performance by Vere United, though. In the first half, did create, as we say, a couple opportunities, but yeah, they just haven't got it going in the second half at all, and
all momentum.
The goals have deflated them.
True.
They've conceded.
4 minutes to be played for stoppages. Vere United will be hoping that it goes by quickly.
Without their team captain today, Fitzroy Cummins, who is with the Reggae Boys. Lumthen also out.
Here's an opportunity. He's really striding forward. Lovely ball, and trying to curl that one in to the far corner. Really ambitious from Joshua Dua, wide of the mark.
See what he was trying to do. Well off in the end, but that was actually probably the right option. Just maybe needed to tune his radar a bit more, but nice build-up it was by Molynes, and you can understand why Alex Thomas is so happy. He's been smiling for majority of these 91 minutes. So is his assistant, Andre Daly.
Not a bad first touch. Lovely pass through. Lamar Neal ran into traffic.
Plummer in the way.
What's new? Kept alive. They really want one goal here. Brown. Sent out wide by Neal. Phillips. Too much. He has a lot to think about.
Jermaine Douglas beside him, the assistant coach. Head coach, he was of Central High in the Costa Cup, who made it all the way to the final, only to lose to Clarendon College. He's been doing good things at the schoolboy level, Jermaine Douglas. But yeah, glum faces and expected. First time that Vere have suffered this kind of defeat in the Premier League this season, and I can't remember them suffering this kind of defeat last season either.
That one crossed the line. Phillips. Getting the ball over the top with the keeper. Maximus Davis. Looking so assured now. That should be that. And that is that. Easy street for Molynes United. Jason Wright involved in 3 of the goals in this one. The player of the game, got a goal himself, had an assist, created the own goal from Phillips, who was the unfortunate one to get the final touch before it crossed the line in that first half. And then a couple of really good goals. Nicholas Nelson back on the score sheet, and he has a smile to go with it as well. As bright as the lights here at the Tony Spalding Sports Complex. He's so pleased, so to his teammates, and probably the best of the lot in the end from Brown. Just sealing the deal for a Molynes United team. And Vere, they have a lot to contemplate. They were pretty much sharp at the back before this, but they've conceded 4 this evening to Molynes United. As we take a look at the full-time highlights in this one. And a couple of sloppy moments. Flag was up though. Offside against Jason Wright. Just offside though. Vere United actually had quite a few chances, you know. This one played inside the area, and the miss from Fakibi Farquharson in the end. After a miss kick initially from Cohen. And this is Nelson. The shot was saved, and then Wright was right there to mop up. A strong hand coming from Mark Morgan, but it wasn't strong enough. Right into the path of Jason Wright, who got his 7th goal this season. That was a lovely turn by Wright. Went to the byline, pulled it across, and it came off Phillips last. That was a turn and a half to leave Javier Brown for dead. And then just creating chaos there. Jason Wright. It wasn't Javier Brown that he left for dead, in fact. But Alvin Strawn, and in the end the last touch came off Phillips. And then another opportunity here. Just couldn't supply the accurate pass deeper inside the box. And then this opportunity for Dustin Cohen. Really should have done better. Put that one over the bar. Brown's effort actually clipped the bar on that occasion, but he would be a little bit more accurate later on. Look at this interplay between Jason Wright and Nicholas Nelson, when Nelson provided the finish in the 55th minute. Wonderfully done. Really, really good movement between the two. And then the finish was just wonderful. And weren't they happy with that? And then Brown decided to take matters in his own hands. The first shot was blocked. He got it back, got the space, and bang! Wonderful hit. Javon Brown opening his account this season. And it was a strike that he will remember for a while. And that pretty much sealed the deal for Molynes United. Yeah, they were ecstatic. Farquharson's effort forced a save from the reserve goalkeeper, Maximus Davis. But that pretty much was that for this one. Vere United with 12 shots, 4 on target. Molynes United with 14 shots, half of which were on target. 10 fouls committed by both teams. 7 yellow cards were flashed in this encounter. And Vere United had the majority of the corners, but Molynes United had the majority of the possession at 57%.
Jason, what a performance for you guys tonight. A goal and an assist. And well, you caused one, you assisted one, and you scored one. How you feel about your performance?
First and foremost, I just want to thank God for an injury-free game and for just giving me the strength to do what I do best. And I feel pretty good coming off a heavy loss. It was important that we rebound really quickly, and we did that today.
I thought initially when we saw you in the Premier League, you were, based on the speed we know that Jason Wright usually travels at, we thought you were about a step or a step and a half too slow, but no, you look fully fine-tuned. What extra work have you done to get yourself ready and attuned to the Premier League?
Well, diet and just keep working. That has changed, and we have seen the improvement.
All right, and talk to me. Nicholas Nelson now partnering you today up front, a change in the formation. And that third goal was certainly a beautiful one. Real good chemistry between the two of you. Well,
Nicholas is a good footballer, and you know, it's just the ability to play. It's nothing special. He laid after me. I know that they were going to step to me, so I just slip him in, and it fortunately it went in. Yeah.
And I saw earlier in the game you were trying to get him on the score sheet as well. That pass didn't work out.
Yeah.
Then you got it to him later on. How important was it for Nicholas to finally get on the score sheet in terms of the Molynes cause?
No, it's very important because he's an integral part of the team, and as a strike partner, I understand when you're in a drought, so I try to help him as much as I can. And you know, the first one didn't work, but you know, thank God the second one did.
Congrats on a solid performance today for you, Jason. Seven goals on the season. Continue striving for more.
Thank you.
Jason Wright, you're a man of the match. Top striker for Molynes this season. Linval Dixon now comes in the frame. Linval, you spoke about the struggles you've had at the club, especially in the depth of squad, just the options available. And tonight, really a heavy loss, not much going right for you.
Yeah, and they're pretty much not going right for us. You know, I think we start off really bad. You know, give up two goals early in the game. You know, we weren't defended properly today. You know, and it really cost us the game.
I thought two reasonably good strategic moves early on. The first one, you brought on Lamar Neal in that first half. Obviously, you needed more presence in the middle of the park. It looked like it was working because Cohen, 2 opportunities early in the first half, but again, the finishing not there for you.
Yeah, definitely so, you know, and we talked about it earlier that, you know, we need to take our chances them, you know, we get some chances, but all in all, you know, not taking our chance, I don't think we defend as a team today, you know, our back line was a bit slow, you know, not marking properly, and hence, you know, we give up those goals, so we always playing catch up in the game, you know, when it touched us in the second half, because we're 2-0 down, and we try to really score, but again, you know, we have to keep on working because you know, it goal hard to come by, you know, and when you get those chances to score, it always give the team, strength to really go on. If we should have scored one of those early chances, it would have been a different game. But all in all, that's, we have to give credit to Molynes. They take their chance and, they score 4 today. It's just for us to look in ourselves and look at what we are doing and where we're at, and, have to move forward as a team.
Yeah, disappointing last year for you today, but we'll look forward to seeing how Vere United will bounce back. All the best, Linford, in the weeks to come.
Thank you very much, brother.
Linford Dixon, former national defender and head coach at Vere United. A big loss for them. Well, your most impressive victory of the season, Alex. How proud are you in terms of the boys' performance here tonight?
I'm very proud of the boys, because coming off a big loss last weekend, but the main thing, we get up back the players, mentally, and we came off victorious tonight.
Well, myself and Donna were saying upstairs for the entire second half, you were smiling from ear to ear, so you certainly were pleased with most of what was happening on the field.
Yeah, definitely, pleased with most of what happening on the field and still work in progress. Last game, we made some tactical adjustments for this game, and it worked, and we have to just keep working.
And not only did you score 4 goals, but you kept a clean sheet. You haven't seen a clean sheet in 7 match weeks. So that in itself must be pleasing for you and your team.
Very pleased, and once getting a clean sheet and scoring and putting 4 goals on the table, that is a big result, and we have to keep them motivated. Celebrate tonight, we're back to work tomorrow.
And talk to me a little bit about the partnership now of Nicholas Nelson and Jason Wright. That was a new thing you were trying. It certainly worked tonight. Important for Nicholas Nelson to get his first goal and for Wright to continue scoring, at 7.
Such a blessing, that is what I tell Nicholas, I want him to get off the mark. If you see the tactical adjustment is to pair both of them, and that experience of both players is going to be, defenders going to have problem going forward.
Yeah, and it took a while for it to to go well, because in the first half I thought they were playing too far apart. But certainly that third goal really showed that when they do get close together, the kind of magic that can be created from a Molynes perspective.
Definitely, and you're going to expect that, because the first time they're really playing together and they're getting to understand each other, and it's going to be a blessing going forward, as I said.
All right, you're moving up the table. Congrats on your performance today. We wish you well.
Thank you very much.
So, the result here in favour of Molynes United, 4 goals to 0. After Hanning Gardens through with Mopé, Waterhouse got by Chappleton. There was a draw there between Tivoli and Falkland, and Cavalier got by Dunbeholden. So Molynes United with the 3 points. Let's see where they are in the standings now. They're in 10th position. They're on 19 points now. They have jumped Tivoli Gardens, who are now in 11th spot. Vere United are on 14. Still 5 points outside of the relegation zone, but, well, it's probably a little bit too close for comfort. They still look over their shoulders. So again, the final score here: Vere United 0, Molynes United 4. Molynes United, they move up the standings.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Ludlow, a very uncertain start to the year for Harbourview, but yet the last 2 weeks you really seem to be getting it together. 2 big wins.
Yes, we have the capacity to do well. It's just the consistency that has been bothering us, you know. So, you know, just looking back, it seems as if that break may not have helped us, and we took a little time to recover from it, you know. So, players being fit and getting accustomed to each other a little bit more, it has galvanized us.